Benachtaí ó Éireann, salutación desde Irlanda. I, and I imagine many other people, feel a sense of indebtedness to Blanca Arias Badia for her informative and indeed incisive article on the question of linguistic diversity in the area of entertainment, particularly in the domain of television and other electronic media. I confess that it was not an area on which I had reflected very much, except in a general way, and of demanding and seeking to achieve more airtime for programs in lesser used languages. Perhaps this is because the whole area of electronic entertainment is so new. It is also rapidly developing and transforming itself. The technology is in itself neutral. It is how we use this technology that can be either good or bad. On reading the article and having particular regard to the examples quoted, it struck me that the best solutions for accommodating linguistic diversity and linguistic rights vary considerably from one situation to another. In my own country, Ireland, the Irish language was heading for extinction at the end of the 19th century due to its total marginalisation by the powers of state, the British state at that period. It was the Irish language revival which got underway in 1893 that started to reverse the situation, and it was only after the War of Independence and the establishment of the Irish Free State that Irish became an official language and an essential language in primary schools. The restoration of Irish has been what one might call only a qualified success. Ineffective teaching methodology and much hypocrisy on the part of public authorities all contributed to the lack of greater success. The 211 census, that's the most recent one we have, reveals that 1.76 million people in the Republic can speak Irish, but only a majority of them use it as their daily vernacular. Add to this figure the Irish speakers in Northern Ireland, and we find that there are over 2 million people on the island of Ireland who can speak their ancestral tongue. A positive aspect is that Irish is strongest among the young generation. The unsatisfactory situation is reflected in the provision of Irish medium TV programmes. The national broadcaster, RTE, normally broadcasts only one programme per day in Irish on its 2 television channels. The 2 non-state commercial channels, ITV1 and 2, rarely, if ever, broadcast anything in Irish. However, an Irish medium TV service, TG Cahir, was established in 1996 after much campaigning and agitation. It broadcasts the greater part of its programmes in Irish, especially those broadcast during prime viewing time in the evening. It should also be borne in mind that all or practically all Irish speakers can also speak English, a situation that resembles the situation in Friesland as regards Frisian and Dutch. It must also be borne in mind that the oppressor language, in this case English, and that this is the second most widely spoken language in the world, and the one which leads the field in audiovisual production, a very uneven playing field for Irish. TG Cahir emulated the Welsh medium TV station S4C in that it puts subtitles in English on its Irish medium programmes. This is to accommodate the large number of people who have some understanding of Irish but who may have difficulty following all of the dialogue in an Irish medium soap opera, for instance. It also broadcast a soap opera in Scottish Gaelic, Mocher, with hardly any adverse reaction. It has its own very successful soap opera, Rusnaroon, which has been running now for a number of years. Many of the programs are produced by small independent production companies, and bearing in mind their tight budget constraints, they're remarkably good. A minority language production need not necessarily be constrained by its small audience. A Welsh production for children, Super Ted, about a teddy bear with powers resembling those of Superman, was so popular that it was translated from Welsh into 40 languages. Perhaps lesser used language communities might explore more fully the possibility of co-production with voiceovers in different languages. Another question that struck me on reading Dr. Arias Badia's article was whether other electronic media, I'm thinking of blogging and Twitter, for instance, if they were not competing with the mainstream audiovisual media. We all know people who spend an inordinate amount of time on their computers, time which they might otherwise spend looking at television. We owe a debt of gratitude to the author for having set us thinking about an area which hitherto has been little explored. Thank you very much. Gurab Mahagav.